the devastation left behind by Superstorm Sandy, New Jersey and New York hit hardest by this storm.
Yeah, here's what we know right now. At least 51 dead, at least 2 missing. The National Guard pouring into destroyed and devastated areas. More than 6.8 million homes and businesses out of power right now.
And we've seen so many astonishing pictures coming from the storm.
6.8 million, folks. Look at that.
New York taxis right there, yellow taxis.
God bless everyone. Oh my God.
Taxis, they normally be racing through the streets of New York.
Makes me want to cry.
In New York right now, they are underwater.
Yeah, and it's unbelievable. And now for the first time, our cameras are up close in that burned-out coastal town of Breezy Point. Look at that. It looks like a moonscape, a war zone. 111 homes burned to the ground.
That's hard to believe. Seeing those, that is hard to believe.
An entire community wiped out. Sam's been leading our coverage from the very start. He's standing by in Lower Manhattan. You see him right there. But we want to go right away to WABC's John Del Giorno. He's flying right now over that massive fire burning in the coastal town of Bricktown, New Jersey. John, I know firefighters can't get there yet. What are you seeing?
Thank you, George. This is video located in New Jersey. This location's about midway between the popular resort towns Seaside Heights. This is a fire that has been burning for it looks like at least 10 to 15, maybe even more of these homes have been to the ground. The area right now inaccessible from the mainland. This is a peninsula accessible only by bridge. The nearest bridge right now is currently cut off. Fire department can't. Besides, even if they could, it looks like as the storm surge came up, it deposited anywhere from 10 to 15 feet of sand across the roadways here. That needs to be cleared by bulldozers right now. No way to extinguish this fire in pricey Mantelope, New Jersey. Back to Times Square.
All right, thanks so much. And we have more now on the massive destruction at the Jersey Shore from the ground level. So much of that iconic beach town of Seaside Heights is underwater, full of debris there.
Crazy.
That famous boardwalk.
I can't tell you how many years I spent there as a kid.
On the scene from his vantage point, Terry.
What you are seeing up the beach, those fires that you've been looking at, that is the concern they've got here. This is an unbelievable scene. Block after block, mile after mile of this kind of ruins. And in that wreckage behind me, we can hear the gas lines hissing. That is the fear for the people who are here. There are people here still, and they've been told by the fire department that one spark and this town could blow. This morning, New Jersey's Seaside Heights, a city synonymous with summer fun, is now a city completely submerged. From the air, destruction as far as the eye can see, fires smoldering, some still burning even after the worst winds had passed. Entire lots of homes gone. The entrance to the city underwater. Boats that withstood the powerful winds stacked like cars in a junkyard. This is incredible. On the ground, the damage is devastating. How you doing now? You got food? You got what you need? Yeah. Floodwaters stranding homeowners who didn't take the warning seriously. Well, why didn't you stay?
First of all, I didn't think it was going to be this severe.
What was once an East Coast summer staple, recently made even more popular by MTV's reality show Jersey Shore, will never be the same. The boardwalk demolished, its remains tossed like
a bomb hit it.
Look at this, what do you think? Total devastation everywhere. The famous Funtown amusement pier now scattered across the shoreline. A merry-go-round built nearly 100 years ago, destroyed. Ferris wheels toppled. Their remains now mingling with
I've been on all them rides.
This mammoth
from the time I was a little kid.
Immersed in ocean waves.
The Jersey Shore of my youth, where we used to go all the time. To the boardwalk at Seaside Heights. It is gone. The pier with the rides, where I took my kids this August, are in the Atlantic Ocean.
A whole summer way of life destroyed, but the spirit remains. We spent the night down here in our cars, and a resident came out of the dark up to us and asked us if we needed anything. That's the spirit of the Jersey Shore. George?
Wow, that is something. Boy, those pictures so sad, Terry. Let's get back to Sam right now. He's downtown right by the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. And Sam, that tunnel's still underwater. Yeah, George, unbelievable. 36 hours after this storm, Sandy made landfall, and each one of those images is still jaw-dropping. Now, this is the underpass that goes to the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. It is the main gateway for 2 million Brooklyn residents to get into New York, and normally there would be thousands of cars trying to get in this morning, and right now it's just home to about 43 million gallons of water. So where is this storm right now? Take a look at the picture, and you can see that this storm is making its way from central Pennsylvania into western New York State. So for the next 2 days, we'll still be dealing with this storm. That is 3 days beneath the superstorm that is Sandy.
The enormity of Sandy's damage is clearly seen from the skies. And even for first responders who have seen it all, this is overwhelming.
I've been in the Coast Guard for 38 years. Very sobering today to see some of the damage that we saw, because you realize for every little flooded street you see, there's a lot of people that are unable to do what they want to do, and their livelihood is affected and their families affected.
Look at this whole neighborhood right here. Oh man, that building's going entirely.
Sandy's fierce winds snapping tree after tree, and when they came down, they took down everything in their path. Power lines where they shouldn't be.
Transformer down.
Yeah, the pole snapped right up top. One came across the roof line.
And this fire, blamed on Sandy, blazed out of control in Queens, New York, and took out over 100 homes, decimating a tight-knit beachfront community.
Breezy Point is destroyed. It feels like it's like the apocalypse.
Nearly 200 firefighters battled the blaze for 10 hours, fighting their way through chest-high water on the flooded streets and rescuing people by boat. Miraculously, in that fire, only 3 people suffered minor injuries. So many rescues, each one vital and heroic. Watch this dramatic air rescue in progress as Helicopter 23, named after the 23 New York City police officers killed on 9/11, plucked 5 adults and a child off these Staten Island rooftops. And the search continues this morning for 2 Staten Island boys, ages 2 and 4, who became separated from their mother after their car was flooded with water during the storm surge.
And it's a brutal cold wind that comes behind this storm system, so it's going to be really uncomfortable for everyone who's trying to do the cleanup. With each one of the communities, there's the question of when's this going to be cleared? When's that going to be ready? And for millions of people, the main driving question this morning is, what about those New York City subways? When are they going to be rolling? Our Chris Cuomo is standing right outside one of them this morning in Times Square. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, Sam, you know, it is difficult to imagine what lies beneath in stations just like this one all over lower Manhattan. What you're about to see is a collection of everything that Sandy brought to bear, and water is the least of it. Deep underground, the beating heart of Manhattan's transit system, now an eerie labyrinth of epic proportions. Joe,
Just think, all you guys, we were just there.
Came with the water down the stairs?
Absolutely. This wall here,
Yeah.
is from down here.
Man, it's got to weigh 200 pounds. Sandy's 14-foot surge washed into Manhattan's South Ferry Station like a tidal wave, carrying thousands of pounds of debris. So what are we talking about, 50, 60 feet?
Yes, you're talking probably thousands of about 2,000, 3,000 feet of track that is completely submerged.
This is just one stop along 660 miles of subway track that carry more than 5.3 million commuters every day. At least 3 other stations have water up to their platforms. Many others have several feet of flooding.
We have 46 miles of track currently underwater right now.
Underwater, so unusable.
Yeah.
Remember, draining contaminated water, just the first step. Weeks it will take to pump this out.
Yes.
Weeks.
Then will you get down to where the tracks are and figure out what your problem
New York City paralyzed, everybody. Look at it.
You see the color?
Oh my
God.
God.
Fuel, that is oil, and that is transmission fluid. Each one is toxic. Each one has
All right, I'm getting
material.
sick.
This morning,
I've been watching this for 3 days
without
now.
Power. Public schools remain closed. Nearly 4,000 utility workers from all over the country.
It'll take forever to rebuild New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, the whole East Coast.
Those people that do not have service today to get service much before the weekend.
A weekend that should be one of New York's busiest, as thousands of people begin traveling across the world for the annual New York City Marathon, a race where just starting now matters much more than finishing. You know, we mentioned the marathon. It seems like a small thing, but in many ways, normalcy is measured